Brent, I'd like to point out I don't appreciate this madness. It's funny on a dime, not on us.
It's about to get real funny for everyone. So, for those of you wondering what happened in the last episode we had, by the way, welcome, NerdTots, D&D, Rods of Dominion. We appreciate you watching. Anyway, so what happened with our last session is our group ended up fighting off some really weird creatures, and then like a weird wedding march happened that they were able to observe part of it until they had like a really odd vision showing a creature that none of them have ever seen before. And as soon as the vision ended, they started to kind of start coming up with a plan of what to do next. As they were in the middle of doing that, where we left off is Drax and Shu are both going to inherit some madness. So we're going to have a little fun right now and have them roll to figure out exactly what's going to happen. So we'll go ahead and start with Drax. You could go ahead and roll a D100 for me. 7, okay?
I'm scared.
All right.
I got a 30 for mine, in case you just want to search up both bad things together.
Okay, perfect. So these are going to take they're going to take hold right away.
Have I told you today that you look sexy?
You have not. Go ahead and roll a D100 again.
Me or Jay?
Jay.
Oh.
Drax.
Where do we add the... Oh, I found conditions.
All because I wanted to kiss a little ass. You gonna make me roll again, huh?
This is a favor because you paid me a compliment.
That's bullshit.
56.
56. Oh, well, this should be easy for you to do. 1 sec. You feel free to jump into this whenever you guys want. Just remember, this is going to be something, a flaw in your character for however long it normally will last. So have fun with that. In the meantime, I sent it to you guys in Discord because it's a little different than what Adon had. Okay, so yeah, so you guys are kind of overtaken by that, whether you want to roll out and show what that looks like now or bring it up later, up to you. But yeah, so your madness that's kind of sunk in has dissipated. So pick up right where we left off, what you guys were doing.
I think me and Jim Jar had similar ideas of disguise self.
Yep.
I want to disguise self as the male one.
I disguise self as the female.
Oh, I haven't removed them yet, but when you guys woke up from the vision, all of these things were gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. No, I'll still do it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I probably didn't do a good job explaining that earlier. My apologies. But yeah, as soon as the vision was over, they were marching back to the big mushroom thingy.
But we can congeal back in the center, right? We can meet back up in the center.
Yeah, if you'd like, yeah. And we're not in combat now, so.
Okay. All right, so let's come out of the hidey holes.
Don't move my character.
Don't?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. That was way more intense than the last one.
Did you have a vision?
Yeah, of castles and spires and the fungal lady floating in the air.
Was that like the person you saw married before, or is it different?
I didn't see anybody really before.
Okay. All right.
But I have an idea.
What's that?
And now I'll cast disguise self to look like one of those male ones. And I'm like, I'm gonna follow through and see if maybe this will help. If I can get some information, then get out. Beat that.
Hey, you know what? That's one of those images that you kind of showed me in your head.
Yeah, one of the cuts.
Hold on. And Jim Jar kind of concentrates and he kind of looks now like one of the female ones.
Sweet.
What if I go with you?
I guess we're changing teams then. Well, Jim Jar, you and me.
Yeah,
go ahead
sure.
Real quick.
Let's follow him and see if we can hear or see anything.
Yeah.
So what about me?
You stay with Drax. I don't know what to tell you. You guys just stay together. We're split. We're changing teams now.
And that's Bone guys should probably stay behind. But we need you guys close. We don't go too far, because I mean, if we get in trouble, we're gonna need like backup quick. And there's no way of telling you that we need backup. Aside from my owl. If my owl starts flying in our direction or acting really crazy, trust me, I'm telling it to tell you guys to come.
If Ingress and Gaul start hauling ass inside, that means it's time to just follow them. Jim Jar, we should just start heading, because we don't know how long it's been since they moved on.
Let's go.
Huh? Huh?
They're gonna go on ahead and I stay with you.
Okay. I'm going this way. The beach is out here. I'm going this way.
Yeah, Harvey, you should definitely deal with that. Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
Jim Jar, let's go. And we try and I'm gonna try and kind of do a semi-fast pace a little bit to just see if we can catch up at all. Where I am, anyways.
Okay.
Did he say something about a beach? That's what Jim Jar says. He's asking Shu as he leaves.
All right, so we're split up now, and Shu and Jim Jar are making their way and following the bridal party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Harvey and Drax are doing what again?
Going up that path.
You're following them?
No.
No, the path. That path that we were on.
Where him and Jim Jar hid.
That I said, don't move my guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm gonna follow that.
So you guys are just gotcha. Okay. You end up going another 30 or 40 feet before seeing that it just ties back into the wall. So it was a small little inlet that you could hide into, but it doesn't actually take you anywhere.
Swimming on the ground.
So is the owl and one of the bone babies with me? And Drax?
They're both with you.
You have both of them.
Swim with me.
So what are they doing while they're here with us?
The bird just turns his head off. The bird just turns his head at you, and then turns his head back at Drax.
The bones don't even react to you. They just kind of just standing there. This is great.
All you see me is on the ground, backstroking the dirt.
Jesus, wow.
He's probably spitting dirt like he's like.
I was just about to say that. I'm just backstroking, going dirt in between my teeth and shit.
Did we catch up to those guys yet?
Yeah, we'll say you guys caught up, and as you're making your way following them, it's impossible not to finally see the enormity of this colossal mushroom that is filling up this large cavern. The cavern around Igmorgus is huge, and the giant mushroom that you're looking at nearly fills it from floor to ceiling. You have no clear reference to judge the towering mushroom's size at this distance. Thousands of smaller fungi cling to the main stalk, which itself splits into several lesser stalks, each long enough with a cup big enough to be the top of a great tower. The cavern floor surrounding the stalk is covered by a carpet of fungi. An eerie luminescence pours through slitted windows carved into the trunk, with the same cacophony of atonal music that you heard earlier echoing within. A stench of rot and decay, such as you've never experienced, wraps around you, seemingly threatening to penetrate your flesh and pervade your soul. Are you going to continue following them?
Hey,
I kind of rub my head. Jim Jar, is this just not vibing well with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit woozy trying to follow them any closer. Does that thing look big enough to be what we saw in our vision?
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, I thought you were asking me.
Yes.
Forget that I said anything.
I know clear as day that yes. It's, I mean, I just don't think. I think we're gonna have to push through a little bit more because
what's affecting us more are the sound of what we're hearing, or the air of what we're breathing. Like, can we investigate? Like, if I was going to do a self check, what's affecting me more?
The air.
The air.
Yep.
Can I pull up my shirt and kind of make like even though I'm disguised self, make it look like one of those vine chest things to kind of make it look like I have a little bit of coverage over the nose and mouth?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. Does that help me any?
I
feel a little less woozy.
No.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you guys are still moving forward.
Yeah, We gotta get at least push a little bit.
All right, as you continue
Can we see where they're
follow-
entering from where we are? Can we see where they're
Yeah,
entering
they're walking up to the base of the giant mushroom, and it looks like there's in addition to like the windows, some of the windows that were carved into the stalk, at the base of it is a huge opening that's been carved into it as well. And it seems like that's where they're heading. And as you guys continue to move forward, that feeling of unease and dread and oppression and pressure is just starting to like slightly build the closer you get to this enormous mushroom stalk.
Jim Jar, this is probably gonna be the stupidest thing. I'm gonna need you to stay here.
What? What do you mean, stay here?
So we're getting woozy because of whatever we're breathing, right?
Yeah.
That's what's. I can hold my breath. I can navigate through here without taking another single breath. But you can't. I can scout, and then before my disguise begins to fade, I'll head back out, and if I can't, I will message to tell you what I saw. But safest option is I can hold my breath indefinitely without needing to take another breath.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll hang back here and hide and wait for you.
All right.
Can I back off Can I back off with the pressure just a little bit and go closer to the rocks just in case I need to, get some coverage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my breath. I'm not even gonna inhale like a big breath. I'm just gonna stop breathing at that point and hold it.
Okay, and you're still following. So as you continue to do that, you notice that one of the biggest things that sticks out is that the creature that you guys fought earlier, the area, some of the horrible things you saw there, like creatures buried up to their necks and like oozing and pussing and getting, just squeezed of all of their essence, is a pale reflection to the true horrors that are surrounding Igmora. So you're starting to see these things as you get closer. Which I've outlined here in red is a 25-foot high crescent-shaped ledge that hugs the cavern wall and gradually slopes down to the lower basin. The ledge is covered with a carpet of moss and fungi and scores of variously sized lumps and pockmarks where pools of vile fluids separate and ooze, some drying out and scabbing over. The entire ledge is difficult terrain. If you're going to continue walking,
I mean,
I'm gonna stop it there and ask if you're gonna continue walking.
I mean, from what I can see, so I'm at that ledge basically right now before I start moving down, correct?
Yes.
Okay. From what I can see, would this
So like right here.
give me a better idea of something to report back to whatever the person's name was?
I mean, I as a DM, I would tell you that what you've seen so far probably would be enough to report back. Yeah. So it's entirely up to you if you want to continue going.
Is there anyone around me within my immediate vicinity at all?
As you look around, you can see that these lumps that are kind of like making all this difficult terrain, you can discern that the shapes of like writhing creatures are inside each of these lumps. Most of them are humanoid, although a few of them are occupied by what appear to be gricks, nothics, and giant spiders. This is the Great Garden of Rot, nourished both by the creatures subsumed within it, and as you also are noticing, the Phasris, which is strongest in this cavern than you guys have seen before. And just to kind of recap, the Phasris is that magical mist that you guys saw before that seems to kind of distort things and has like almost like a weird evil weight to it. And
Gotcha.
What you're seeing now is mountains of just density of this just throughout the entire cavern.
Okay, one last thing. Can I see any of the mycenids that are down below? Like, are they like grouped in certain groupings, or is can I not see that because the big mushroom?
You can you can't see in front of it, but you can see to the sides here, where I'm marking. You can see that there's clumps of myconids and other creatures which have like just huge growths kind of like all over them that are just kind of standing and swaying to something that clearly no one else can hear because it's not in time with any of the other weird atonal music that you've heard.
Gotcha. So yeah, from there I'm gonna start backing up and trying to make my way back out as unsuspiciously as possible.
Okay. As you start to make your way out of this, you're starting to feel like a lightning. It's no longer this weird pressure that is like just was starting to like just build and like almost pierce your skin in a million different spots. It's starting to lessen as the further away you move from this.
Yeah. Can I get back to Jim Jar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're back. You're back reconnected with Jim Jar.
All right, dude. It's nasty in there. The ground is alive with like carcasses and of spiders and other like moss and stuff. And it's a huge like drop down to the mushroom, but there's like these weird ramps on the sides that you can get to, and kind of like those little mushroom guys we just fought before that was with the slime thing. There were some more of them that I could see that were just kind of vibing to their own beat, kind of separate from everybody else. Like it's bad in there. We need to go.
Does it feel worse than it does here?
If I'm assuming if I was probably breathing in more, it would feel tremendously worse. Like just walking back, I could feel less pressure on my skin, less little pains and pricks. But as I got away, it was much better. So I'm only assuming that if whoever goes in there being able to breathe, there's not going to be a good time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. We should probably go tell the others.
Quick check. Is anyone around us?
I would say no.
Cool. I'm gonna drop the sky self, and I'm gonna start just sprinting back to Harvey and Drax.
Okay. And your trip back to them is pretty much uneventful. You don't notice anything else, and you're able to reconnect with them.
Cool.
Guys,
and
it's bad.
Dude, and I started explaining to Harvey and Drax, like, there's so many things, and there's like these weird bodies on the ground, and it's just things that are just kind of like littered about. It's
Hey, what was that?
What?
You just like fell asleep, shut down or something?
No.
Is this guy still swimming, by the way?
Yeah, my guy's still just.
What the hell's wrong with him?
You guys could get in the water.
Did you give him some spores, Birdman?
Hold on. I gotta say that over again. Get in the water. It feels great. Guys, come on. So I run out thinking I'm running out the water, and I go, Birdman, come on. And I grab him and I go try to get somewhere so we can both jump in.
I mean, he's been like this since you guys left. I mean, I've been dealing with this. I don't know what happened to him. Can anybody help?
I mean, they don't really sense danger like that.
So me and Harvey, we just go, yeah! Well, it's the ground.
God dang. All right.
What do we do to snap him out of it?
Last time we tied him up and gagged him for a day. I don't know. It'd look a little weird if we were dragging his ass through the whole cavern.
Not necessarily. We did it before.
Hey Drax. I hear there's smoothies over by the cave. You want to grab a smoothie before you jump back in and swim some more?
Why would I want a smoothie? It's freezing.
Freezing?
Drax, I heard down by the other ocean they have
what ocean?
Boards, some
freezing here. You don't see the snow on the ground?
You want to go snowboarding?
That sounds pleasant.
Well, let's go to the slopes. Follow us.
You need winter clothes.
Lead him back to the person we have to report to, I guess.
Okay. Is everyone going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you start to make your way towards where you can actually see Basidia. So we'll say Basidia is like down here, right?
Okay.
If you guys can see that. So
Yes.
as you're making your way, again, you kind of have to go this way to get down the ledge a bit and make your way over here. The whole time you're making this trek, you're noticing much different energy from the Myconids, specifically the ones that have been happy about this, this union and this, jubilant and celebrating, seem even more fervent now, and even more so at the same time seem to be completely ignoring everything else around them. As you're about halfway, they all stop in their tracks, and then immediately all of them, regardless of what direction where they are, pardon me, in this cavern, they all end up facing towards Ede Morgus, the giant mushroom stalk in the back. And it's very clear which Myconids are behaving this way and which aren't, because the ones that are not seem to be looking around a little confused as to what their kin are doing. And then you finally make your way to Basidia. And for the sake of you guys just having experienced this, we're going to assume that most of it's fresh in your mind. You really have no trouble relaying this information to Basidia, and Basidia seems to be quite shocked and alarmed when you mentioned the two names that were in the song earlier, Aramikos and Zugmoy. As soon as those Basidia hears those names, Basidia immediately, I don't want to say perks up, but kind of like is stunned, just you can tell by the body language, and immediately starts to point at some of the other Myconids around that are not transfixed on the mushroom in the back, and like gesturing to bring them in. So, and before you know it, you're just surrounded by a bunch of, I'd say maybe 24 Myconids, including Stool and a few of the other circle leaders. And Basidia starts to communicate with everyone and says, "We have run out of time. We have no choice. I fear that the odds are stacked against us in the worst way. We have no choice but to abandon our home. The demon queen of fungi, the lady of rot and decay, has taken over, and we are powerless to stop her. These travelers here have helped us uncover the horrible truth of what is happening, and the only way that we can ensure our society continues is to flee." And with that, Basidia closes the telepathic contact, and then all of the Myconids immediately go to start gathering their personal belongings, supplies, and then starts gathering as if they're preparing to leave very soon.
Guys, they're panicking. Basidia, hey.
Yes.
We did what you asked. You guys look like you're getting ready to bail. We need the jewels, and we need the access on how the hell to get to the surface. You promised it to us.
Indeed, yes. Let me go ahead and locate the treasure. I'll be right back. Just a minute. Basidia kind of steps away and heads to the other side of the cavern, digs up something from the ground, walks back over and hands it to you, and it is a 1 second, sorry.
Meanwhile,
yes, you're
guys, do you not agree that shit's officially hit the proverbial lava vent?
I wish I told you so. Like, I told you we all should just sort of left. We could have been ahead of this already.
Basidia comes back holding a small box. It's unlocked. It's made of a really nice fine wood, clearly from the surface, and it's inlaid with silver. It is not locked. And then Basidia hands it to Jimjar.
Jimjar opens it in front of the group and
All
inspects its contents.
There are 3 amethysts inside, which are about 100 gold pieces apiece. There are 4 small diamonds, which are about 50 gold pieces apiece. pieces apiece, and one large diamond, which is approximately 500 gold pieces.
Jim Jar pockets the $500 diamond and says, "Look, guys, jewels."
Just put it all in the bag. We can divide it later. Throw it in the bag of holding, and let's go. We don't have time to dig that up now if they're panicking as much as they are.
Sure. I hand them the box with the other stuff, but the diamond's still in my pocket.
So just to confirm, you and your town are leaving?
Yes, we will be fleeing as soon as we possibly can. You are welcome to join us, and once we are at a safe distance, we will have some of our more experienced Underdark travelers point you and show you the right direction.
Still get the rest of the
which way you
guys.
want to go.
Does anybody know where this fleeing is going to happen? Because it's like, I'd rather be standing by the exit.
Yes, so they're going to be going down that same path that you guys had your hidden cave in.
Gotcha. So we should head to our hideout now, if that's where they're going to go, and then wait for them to start leaving. We'll
we gotta get the prince and everybody. We gotta get the prince and everybody ready to rock.
Let's go.
Sugmoy.
At least he doesn't sound like your way to the cavern. And then once you get there, one of you takes a brief, couple of minutes to fill Stool into what has happened. And as soon as the name Zugmoy is mentioned, Stool kind of also freezes and seems to actually have a little bit more knowledge. So he gestures to gather everyone in and releases spores to communicate telepathically and starts to give everyone a little bit of a lore lesson on Zugmoy. So Zugmoy is essentially, she is an actual demon lord, an alien creature whose only desire is to infect the living with her spores, essentially transforming them into her mindless servants and eventually into decomposing hosts for mushrooms, molds, and other fungus that she spawns. Zugmoy can mold her fungoid form into an approximation of a humanoid shape, including the skeletal thin figure that you guys ended up seeing in your vision. Her cultists often follow her unwittingly. Most are fungi infected to some degree, whether through inhaling her mind-controlling spores or being transformed to the point where flesh and fungus become one. She is here for a reason, and the other name that you guys heard, Ormikos, was also familiar to Stool since he was part of the Circle of Explorers. He is aware that there is a large, probably the largest organism in the entire world, that is it's a living fungus called Aramikos, and essentially Zugmoy wants to fuse with Aramikos, which would grant her unlimited power. And so Stool kind of shares that story with you guys, letting you know the dire situation that's happening, and also agrees with Basidia. It's time to go.
Does anybody else think that this is kind of like end of the world stuff happening?
It sounds like some. Anyone never encountered a demon lord before? I've never even heard of one of those.
I mean, should we try to stop it, or it sounds like it's in the early stages. Maybe we can help.
Dude, we couldn't even get close to the front door. What do you think we can do now?
We're not strong enough to do anything about it now, regardless. Our only option is to run away.
I mean, we don't have to do a full fight. Maybe we could just burn it.
You want to go fly back up and do your fire stuff?
Well, I mean, I thought I was just saying like the big mushroom. We could burn that.
Yeah, but that could be either all of Igmoris, or that could be like, we don't know what that other thing even looks like.
Or how big
Stool?
it is. We may see a
Is
part
Igmoris part of the other thing that she's trying to fuse with, or is that something different?
So Stool says that Igmorgus is more than likely her attempt to set up a lair here on the material plane. How a demon lord is able to be here on the material plane is a question for someone much more knowledgeable than myself.
Okay, so they're talking about this wedding. If the groom isn't here, then we may live to fight another day. But if they're both there, I mean, how are we gonna get? We can't even get close.
Or Mikos is in a vast, huge network in the Underdark, and to be perfectly honest, it seems like after everything we've learned that Zugmoy is more than likely building up strong defenses before she can go and try to locate Ormikos. If she already knew the location, we would all be doomed already.
Okay, so there's a window.
If someone else finds the location first and either fortifies it or destroys it, that would help.
At this point, Stool says, well, who has the map? Let me see the map.
Oh, okay. He has the map.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
Oh, that's your right. Oh, Ormikos, the whole fucking circle. Jesus.
How do I rotate this? Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. This is Neverlight Grove right here.
That's going deeper. Where we
never
this
passed
is
that.
Neverlight Grove right here. Correct. Yeah, you basically slip past Grackle Stug. And one of the ways that you know to get to the surface is kind of heading like northwest past Grim and Graven Hollow, or a quicker way might be going directly north. There could be other ways out of the Underdark. It really depends on what direction you guys want to go and how difficult you want it to be. But this whole thing right here is Ormikos.
Okay. That whole setup of defense around Ormikos, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we flee, burn this place to the ground, which, sad to say, is Shu's original idea. And then what? Head to the surface or try to find this Ormikos?
Well, I mean, in Ormikos, is there something specific that she's trying to obtain? Or is she just trying to get there, and once she's there, it's game over?
So one of the things I do me a favor, everyone roll religion check.
15. I rolled 15.
I rolled a nat 1, even though it looks like a 19, but it's a nat 1.
There's no disadvantage on this.
I rolled an 11.
I'll say at this point, I'll just be like,
okay. All right, so
don't burn out the brain cells, Shu.
So what was the question again?
The question was
Stool. Yeah, what? Like, is she trying to find something specific in Ormikos that she's trying to get, or like just once she's there, is it game over?
So at this point, you guys are kind of like talking out the possibilities, and then it suddenly kind of clicks, and Jimjar kind of recalls a little bit of something that he learned, back in his hometown in the Underdark, because learning about the Underdark is part of the material plane, but in a way it's very special because it's a very thin barrier between other planes of existence, specifically the abyssal plane where demons come from. So in this case, the bit of lore that Jimjar is starting to recall is that in order for a demon lord to be able to stay on the material plane and not get banished back to the abyssal plane, it needs some sort of tangible power or life force, and that it's possible that if she fuses with Ormikos, it would give her the power to stay here on the material plane and actually just end up ruling everything.
Yeah, so if she gets to Ormikos, it's pretty much game over for the rest of the world, no matter whether we get to the surface or not. So we either slow her down and burn the town like Shu had suggested, babies and all, or we end up, maybe we get to the surface and maybe she takes over the world and then we become those spawn things that we saw coming out of the ground.
Gotcha. We absolutely have to try. Fuck my life. Just want to get out of this hellhole. So what's the plan? What are we going to do?
Burn it. I say we get everybody here who's leaving and tell them to burn their houses on the way out. We need to cause a big enough fire to maybe, hopefully, burn that entire big mushroom down.
You guys are having this conversation in the little covey that your little hiding hole. The Myconids who are fleeing, they've not stopped that process. They're already moving away. Stool does interject. So when you mention that, Stool reminds you that many of them have already started, are already moving away from the area, and that it might not be. Well, I'll just say as Stool, it may not be a good idea to draw attention. Perhaps there are other cities that maybe we can get that have an army that we could maybe use to fight back against her.
I mean, sounds good.
Who would be the nearest city then? Who would care enough or be strong enough to really help out in this case?
Do you have guys that any friends down here? You don't seem like you make good friends down on. What city is Sewell suggesting that we go to for help?
Yeah.
Sewell just kind of shrugs. I'm not sure.
All right, well, we got to at least collapse the cavern behind us, because if those things start chasing after us, we're going to have a pool of mushrooms behind us.
I have a stupid idea. What if we head back to the Drow? They clearly have the power and means to do stuff. They have the expansion, reach, numbers.
Who? You want to go to the Drow? I'd rather go back to my hometown before I go to the Drow. At least my hometown has enough of my kind to do some stuff.
Everyone down here is scared of the Drow, right? They must have something.
Yeah, but I'm not going to run back to the same guys who threw us in prison. I'd rather go back to my city, which I was trying to get away from, but at least there we have allies. At least I know those people.
But are they strong enough to really help us, and how far out of the way?
I helped take out a couple of creatures here and there. Imagine like 1,000 of me. That might not be so bad. Or if there's something else nearby. Look, can you pull up the map? What's the closest city? I'm sorry, can we look at the world map again?
Yes.
1,000 of you, we're all gonna be robbed blind.
Well, you'll be alive.
Would we?
We're in Neverlight Grove, right?
We're in Neverlight, yeah. So
my city is literally just past Montoldareth. So we can go to Montoldareth or we can go to Blinding Stone. Those two cities right there. At least I know some people in Blinding Stone. I don't know anybody in Montoldareth, but Stool doesn't make friends. These guys don't make friends down here.
What's this?
Entomox
Boone and Menzo Barrington. Do we know anyone there?
Where's the Prince from?
He's from the top
Prince
side.
Daredil's from the surface.
We can go to Mezzabaranzan, but we can stop by Blingstone.
Mezzabaranzan is a Drow city.
We can stop by Blingstone on the way. At least I could probably help us get some supplies.
So,
Graven Hollow's further than anything else.
What do we know that's further south towards Ermigos?
Grackle style, according to this.
Does anyone even in the group? Because we saw the dwarf and the frog guy, right?
I mean, what about the labyrinth?
I don't really like anything that says labyrinth. That just sounds like a headache.
A lot of work.
Everything under here sounds like a freaking headache.
Well, Grackle style is at least towards the the thing that we've got to keep her from. So.
All right, so let's head to Crackle Pop, whatever. Let's just go somewhere.
Right.
Jesus.
Jim Jar, can you get a message to your city? Do you guys have mail down here?
I mean,
we don't got the time to wait on mail.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some stone stuff that we can send in that direction while we head towards wherever we're going. So
I think that if we can try that and then move down, I think, yeah, Just my thing is, if we go up to Blazing Stone and she's already here at Neverlight and starts making her way to Irmikos, we then have double, if not triple, the chance to catch up.
At least at Crackle Stowe, we can just like Drax said, just like at Crackle Stowe, we're at least putting ourselves between her and Armikos. I can't read very well.
Yeah, it's Armikos.
Armikos.
Well, I guess
Crackle,
it's decided.
Crackle Stowe. Crackle Stowe.
Crackle Stowe it is.
I'll see if I can get a message out to Blingden Stone. Stool. Let's do this. Let's talk to our boy and let's get the hell out of here.
Talk to who?
Did the leader leave already? Did he abandon us because he's supposed to do
Basidia. Yeah.
Basidia? Did he bail on us? So or we were talking and
Basidia is right outside and still like, kind of like ushering and counting and making sure that everyone is leaving. So he's right outside the little hiding hole.
All right, cool. All right, Basidia, we're ready to rock when you are. We need to get the hell out of here and we need to find a way to Crackle Stowe.
Oh, yes. Okay. I can go ahead and have one of our folks escort you and show you the way.
Which way are you guys heading?
We are going to probably... I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know where we'll have to start over.
Do you think you could send a messenger over to Blingden Stone, my hometown?
Send your fastest runner boy.
Are close enough, yes, we could. I'm not sure exactly where we're going. We just need to get away from here.
Well, here's the thing. Your people might be able to, and does Jim Jar have anything on him that could identify him as being from Blingden Stone?
I would say no, other than just the fact that it's the closest deep gnome city.
All right.
So it would be kind of normal for people to assume Blingden Stone as where he came from.
Okay. And I know this is only because I don't know some of my backstory. Do I know anybody there that I can have him recommend or talk to send a message to?
Yes, the most honorable Borough Warden Belwar Disengulp.
Look, just see if you could send someone to get a message to Disengulp. Tell him Jim Jar's heading to how do you pronounce that? Gracklestow?
Gracklestow. Yeah,
Gracklestow.
That's a hard one.
That Jim Jar's heading to Gracklestow and he can use that favor that he owes him.
Okay, will do.
That's the best I can do, guys. Let's go.
All right, well let's go.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and get this map out of the way. All right, so you end up splitting and Stool, of course, is going to be going with his people. You guys are like at the crossroads, the proverbial fork in the road. Stool and his people are going one way. You're going another. You are going to have one of Stool's people with you just long enough to kind of make sure you're heading in the right direction and going to get very close and aimed directly at the city you're going to. So he takes a moment to kind of like say his goodbyes. He opens up, of course, to telepathic communication and says, "It feels like an eternity since we escaped, and I have a life debt to each of you for helping me reconnect with my people. Even though right now things are dire and difficult and dangerous, I at least have a chance now, and I'm eternally grateful to all of you for that. Thank you very much."
Yeah, we're gonna miss you in our heads, but that's pretty. Yeah.
Stu, could I ask like a small parting gift from you?
If it's within my power, I'll do my best.
Could I have a small piece of you?
A small piece? If I see, yeah, sure. So what he does is he kind of goes to like his hand, and there's like a little like, vine of fungal growth like on the outside. He breaks it off and then hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll make sure to raise it right.
Excellent. Wait, what?
I think.
Weird. I thought I heard you say something in your mind, but I guess not.
Still, I want to say in this small amount of time I've been alive and memory I have, you are the best friend I have.
That's not saying much.
And you, small annoying Birdman, are... Well, you're a small annoying Birdman.
All right.
All right, so he waves, he turns to leave, and then as you guys are just at the edge of like having your like the distance that you're able to communicate telepathically, you briefly get like a few words from Stool in your mind where you hear him thinking to himself, wow, it probably would have been really nice to see that wedding. And I think that's probably a good place for us to stop.
Ah, shit.
Hold up.
Stool's infected.
Fuck.
The fuck?
It's okay though, because I'm gonna raise his baby right. I'm gonna come and kill his dad.